Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Chosen Lifelines for Men. My name is Walter Jennings from Chosen Life Specialists, where I have been called to challenge and, if necessary, partnering with you in changing your motivation, mentality, and mettle. Today, I want to talk to you about those individuals who are motivated by power. Now, power is defined as the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others, their resources, or the course of actions. This broad and general definition includes a whole family of overlapping concepts such as influence, inspiration, nurturance, authority, leadership, control, dominance, coercion, and aggression. Now, it may sound like these concepts and these terms are conflicting, and that's because they are. Because power in and of itself, while it can be clearly defined, the purpose and the way in which it is used is really at the discretion of the individual that wields it. So the most important thing when it comes to power is not the what, but the why. Why do you want power? What do you plan and hope to do with it? How do you plan to utilize that power, and what way do you deem it to be effective? So a good way to think about power is that power is like a tool. So with a hammer can be used to build a house. A hammer can be used to repair things around the house or to nail something, a fence up. But a hammer can also be used to murder someone. A hammer can be used as a defense item. So a tool, the intention and the usefulness of it is only as good or effective as the person who is holding it. So that tool or power is not bad or good in and of itself, but it is all about the intentions and the usefulness of the person who wields it. So with that particular aspect, there are some negative things that can be utilized when it comes to power that those who have it need to make sure that they bear in mind. The first thing is that power can reduce the capacity of an individual to take into consideration the perspectives of others. So it diminishes a person's ability to be able to empathize because they are in control and they have influence of that person's behavior, because oftentimes they control their resources. Then they can find themselves in a place where they are using more stereotypes and are objectifying people because they see them as a group rather than as individuals who have diverse needs and that have individual perspectives that can be useful. So as an individual who wields power, they have to be careful not to group people and marginalize them in a way and reduce them to just the group that they may be a part of. Number two, those in power can decrease their connectedness or their ability to connect with individuals, to connect with groups, or to connect with others. So they have to be careful that they don't marginalize individuals or look at them just through the lens of power, whether that be individuals, whether that may even be individuals who also have power as well. We could argue that a lot of the wars, a lot of the battles, a lot of the fights and conflicts come from individuals in power who refuse to see themselves outside of the lens of their power as individuals, rather than seeing them as threats to their authority and to their leadership. The third thing is that power makes individuals more likely to engage in socially unacceptable behaviors, things like sexual harassment, poor table manners. We've seen a lot of the abuse of power on display, whether it's in the government, whether it is in entertainment industry, whether it is socially, but we see a common thread that individuals in power are behaving badly. And part of the reason why is because they can, because they don't necessarily have the governance, the self-governance, and also individuals who have an equal measure of power holding them in check. Then they have no restraints, they have no boundaries, and so they're living in this place where they essentially are a god unto themselves. They make their own rules, and when you make your own rules, everything is in play and nothing is out of bounds. So as we're talking about these different aspects when it comes to the negative factors in the usage of power, I want to pose a question to you. When you hear these things, what person or people come to mind for you? I know for me, I think about someone like Adolf Hitler, who utilized his power and his platform and his influence to galvanize a whole country in the extermination of Jewish people, who essentially helped to set off World War II. And so the worldwide and mass chaos that took place when we think about neo-Nazism and how those things fueled this massive stain in history. And so all of this leading back to a misuse of power. So on the flip side of that, again, not only are there negative connotations associated with power, there could be some positive aspects as well. One of the things that power can do, or a person can do with power, is they can unite differences. So this individual can see power as a way to bring people of different backgrounds, of different cultures together. There are individuals that can see differences as strengths rather than detriments. So those individuals who are in positions of power can utilize their power in a way that brings us together rather than dividing us. Also, those individuals, it enables them in their power to be proactive rather than reactive. So rather than allowing themselves to wait for things to happen and then respond, these individuals use their power to be proactive. Lastly, on the individual side, it allows this individual to embrace their uniqueness, their resilience, and empowers their belief. So when you hear these aspects, what person or people come to mind for you when you hear about these positive aspects of power? I know for me, I think about one of my role models and people that I look up to historically, Dr. Martin Luther King, who utilized his power and his platform to actually pull people together of different backgrounds to advocate for civil rights for not only African Americans, but a lot of people don't know that before he died, he actually was really fighting for more of the social economic class of people and encouraging rights for them as well. And many people believe that that is what ultimately got him killed. And so when we think about power, power is not just one dimensional. It comes from many different sources, and ultimately, both power and leadership is about people. And so, building good relationships brings those things together in the most positive ways. Thank you all so much again for tuning into this Chosen Life for Men moment. My name is Walter Jennings, and I would love to speak with you in regard to your pursuit of power and helping you to utilize it and plan to use it in ways that are going to be helpful and productive to not only you, but to our society. Again, my name is Walter Jennings from Chosen Life Specialists, where I've been called to challenge and, if necessary, help you in changing your motivation, your mentality, and your mettle.